I'm in my office and I haven't quite figured things out yet. Hi everybody! Today I will be setting up my bullet journal for the month of September 2021. I'm in my new office. I'm attempting to figure out how to film in here. So I apologize if anything looks weird. It's a work in progress, kind of like my bullet journal. August has been a very kind of intense month so far. I'm filming this mid-August because I'm just trying to get ahead of things, but it's been a lot. Like, my kids got to Denver, we're unpacking, we're having to order new furniture, we're having to establish medical care for all four of us, plus the cats. There's just a lot happening, and I have been quite frazzled. It took me a little bit of time to get back into the habit of bullet journaling, but this week, the habit has really started to sink back in, and it's feeling very helpful for me. I also have been getting back in the swing of things of doing live plan with me's on Sundays, so be sure to join me then. Although by the time you see this, I will have actually mixed it up a little bit in my live plan with me's. I've been wanting to add a weekly planner to my lineup just for the fun of stickering, like pretty much that's about it. And so I was going to experiment over the next couple of live plan with me's, but there will still be plenty of live bullet journal setups sprinkled in there as well. I don't know what I'm doing yet, you guys. You know that. So last month I talked about how the monthly calendar in my bullet journal that I draw in, I like the look of it, but I hadn't really been using it. And I also hadn't really been using the 21 and 2021 spreads that I had set up. So I decided to kind of combine them and track a bunch of the weekly and monthly things for 21 and 2021 on the monthly calendar. And it actually worked a lot better than I expected it to. I've been doing fairly well, as it turns out, in terms of tracking. Not necessarily in terms of the habits, but in terms of tracking. So I think this month I am going to do the same thing, as well as another spread that's reminiscent of my first 2021 bullet journal, sort of. We'll talk more about that as we get more into the setup. Now let's get into the supplies. So I am back in my Scribbles That Matter B5 notebook. I love it. It's 100 GSM paper, which I have heard rumor that they are, after all, not going to bring back after doing like a test run of it or something. But I have heard they'll be doing 120 GSM, which to me is pretty much just as good. As long as it's not the 160 GSM super thick paper, I'm good to go. That super thick paper is just not the jam for me. I know a lot of people love it, but I don't like planning on cardstock, damn it. I don't know any of this for sure though. I'm not like in the Scribbles That Matter, you know, pocket. I have no idea. Even when I finish this journal, even if they have the 120 or the 100, I'm likely going to be using the Passion Journal next because I also really loved that one and it's sitting on my shelf waiting for me. We have a long way to go. I'm only on my second month in this bullet journal. Pens. I'm going to continue going with the Zig Writer. That's what I've been using the last month or so and I really like it. I haven't done a review on the Zig Writer itself, but I have done a review on the Zig Clean Color Dot Markers, which I also have been using in my spreads. I can link that up above. It's not an inexpensive pen, but for some reason it's really scratching my itch right now. Inappropriate question mark? This month I'm also going to incorporate washi tape. I decided I miss having washi tape and I don't know how much of it I'm going to use, but I thought I might throw a little bit in just as like a bit of a sploosh here and there, and I am going to use some of the neutral Amanda Rach Lee washi tape. Even though I've unpacked all my washi, those neutral colors just really seem to resonate with the color scheme that I'll talk about in just a minute. I'll also be using a cutting tool and a mat, pretty basically just to cut, you know, the Dutch door that I plan on doing, but it seems to be the usual for me now. The color scheme and theme this month is Dahlia. It was a very fall flower that I just felt like throwing out there. Every month my patrons get to vote on which like doodle and color scheme I'm going to use in my bullet journal, and it's all been botanicals this year, probably forever. That's just my favorite thing to draw. Dahlia is one of my favorite flowers. It was one of those flowers I never thought I could draw. It's actually not as hard as you might think it is. It's basically you draw like the little situation in the center, which is just like a little like blob with some lines kind of curving outward, and then a bunch of like M's and squiggles going in like concentric rings to build like the real fluffiness of the flower. The color scheme for the Dahlia that I decided to go with is from one of my favorite colors of dahlias. There's a bunch of different colors of them, but the one that I love are those like kind of flamey multicolored ones that have the like the light and the dark oranges, the ones that look kind of like fire. It felt very fall to me, and it's just one of my favorite flowers. So this palette is almost entirely yellows, peachy kind of colors, and like kind of orangey reds. This is the first time in this bullet journal that there's no green in my color palette. I could be wrong about that. Like in this year's bullet journals, not just this one. This one's only been used for a month, like I said. I'm using Tombow dual brush markers and Pitt artist pens, and I will leave the colors in the description of this video in case you want to recreate this color palette. Now that I have talked about supplies and rambled about my life, it's time to get into the setup. So one of the things I decided I wanted to do in this particular bullet journal is use quotes from my favorite movies. So in August, it was Have Fun Storming the Castle, which is from The Princess Bride. I have 3 favorite movies, like all-time favorites. And then my top 10 can fluctuate, but my top 3 have been the same for many, many years. And The Princess Bride is one of them. And another one of them is Reservoir Dogs. You know, it's not like those are 2 totally disparate movies or anything. So I decided the quote I wanted to use for September is, "Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy, or are you gonna bite?" Which is a Mr. Blonde quote from Reservoir Dogs. There's a lot of quotes I could have used from Reservoir Dogs, but I feel like that one was probably one of the most A, PG, and B, unspoilery for the movie. As some of my other favorite quotes fully spoil the plotline. If you haven't seen Reservoir Dogs and you have no plans on it because you're not into like that style of movie, then I get it. But like if you haven't seen it and you like heist movies or drama, I just love that movie. Okay, I have this idea. It's a little complicated. Well, we'll see. What I'd like is to draw a box for the quote like it was a piece of paper, and then draw a dahlia like it was a flower laid on top of the piece of paper, and then have a piece of washi tape going over the dahlia, like make it look like it's holding the dahlia in place. But I don't want to draw the dahlia under the tape because I want it to be opaque, and the washi tape's got a bit of a transparency to it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll use this one, I think. This one is a little darker. But I'll start by like laying down the washi tape, and I want to tear it and have it actually have like a torn edge. This is sort of like my concession to putting craft paper in my journal, which I have no interest in doing, at the moment at least. Who knows, I might change my mind, but I'm pretty sure I don't plan on ever doing it. By pretending like I'm putting paper in, but still just drawing the paper in. So I'm going to make this a little bit more of an angle. I think that'll work. And then I'll draw the box. Then I need to draw the dahlia. Then I'll draw the box, because I'm basically working like top down. Does it make sense? Like if this were a real piece of paper with a real flower and then the actual washi tape, you would put the paper, then the dahlia, then the washi tape. But because we're drawing it, I'm going washi tape, then dahlia, then paper. Does that make sense? Allegedly? Okay. And if you're thinking, Cindy, this is a little ridiculous for you, yeah, you're probably right. Went a little too far, and I'm already feeling a little bit like precious about this is maybe the word I'm looking for. I don't know. And now what I kind of want to do is turn this into like a Polaroid, shake it like a Polaroid picture. So maybe I'll just add like a border. You know, you think I would have like thought about this and like planned this out? Nope. The farthest I go when it comes to planning my bullet journal, like no lies, is figuring out what colors and then having the patrons vote on them, and then figuring out what I want to actually have on each page. Like, is this going to be a calendar? Is this going to be a, quote, whatever, and then finding the quote. And sometimes counting things out, like I counted the calendar out. But generally speaking, I freeball most of it, if you haven't figured that out by now. And I think I want to do one of my favorite things, which is to letter in the words with like a brush marker and then do like a scribbly going over them with a fine liner. That sounds like the business for today. I really like how this turned out. I feel like it has a fall feel without being so like fall dark. Like it's kind of like a paler, lighter fall. I like it. I think I'm going to stick with this like this picture pages. Oh my God, do you guys remember that show? Sorry, I'm old. So I kind of now want to go with this picture sort of situation by having 4 like kind of mirrors going down that say SEPT for September. And then I might add some flowers. I don't know yet. Let's see. These are going to be the jankiest little squares. I should have found something to trace, but fuck it. Oh my God, that last one was so bad. I'm going to clean that up just a skosh, but yeah. It's okay, right? I'm fine with the sloppy. This is just more like really sloppy. Really sloppy. And I'm doing the inside of some and the outside of the others based on kind of how I want them to overlap and so on and so forth. That's gonna work, I think. So I decided while I was like lettering that, instead of drawing a flower outside, I could draw flowers in the pictures and then letter around the letters. And I am very impressed with myself at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. Have you ever had one of those moments where you're like, you don't know if something's gonna turn out good and then it turns out cool and you're like, fuck yeah. That's where I'm at right now. I don't think I'm going to color in the dahlias on this page, though. I actually kind of like it the way it looks. I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape. But this time I'm not going to. I already did it. So I'm just going to add on this side, though, I think. I don't want to have to cut around the washi tape. Yeah, boy. But I'm still just going to cut around this area. And I am terrified. And you might say, Cindy, perhaps this level of fuckery in your bullet journal is not necessary. You could just not do it. And I would say, you know what? You're not wrong. But I like the look of it. And currently, the way it looks outweighs the way it makes me feel. And yes, I am bowing to aesthetics over function in this case. I feel like I just talked about this in another video too, about like bowing to aesthetics over function. I don't remember. I might have. Okay. Yay! But it does look cool though, doesn't it? And I'm going to add the little calendar here, I think. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. I think today I am, although I need a different pen because this Zig writer is a 0.5, but I've used it so much, I think I've smushed it into a 0.7. And I'm going to have to go dig through my fine liners because I don't have a small one right next to me. Do I? Oh wait, I think I do. I still don't remember how my office is set up yet, you guys, and I'm filming a tour of it probably tomorrow, so just stay tuned for that. Okay, here's an extra small. Yeah, this will do. Extra small Pitt artist pen. I should probably look at a calendar to make sure I do this right. I love how this looks, you guys. I've been talking, maybe not so much in this video, but I did talk about it in my Power Sheets video, which you'll see next week, how burned out I'm feeling right now. Not on work necessarily, but just in life. But right now I'm feeling invigorated purely because this is cute. And it wasn't actually super hard for me. Like it didn't destroy my tendinitis. Do I want to add color to those dahlias? I'm gonna leave them alone for right now. We'll come back to that. So then I need to do my to-do list, which I haven't actually used this month, like at all. So I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to do it just because I think I should have used it this month and I haven't. And it's been not a great idea. I think this is looking good. Simple, but yet not simple. When I drew this calendar in, I had intended to I'm basically going to redo this spread because this spread is working really well for me. right? But instead of having the open spots, I wanted to make it a whole box, but then just not draw lines where there's no days and still fill the same information in. But I hadn't thought about doing this yet. And so now that I have done this, I think what I want to do is draw the box in, but then draw the frame around it to make it look, again, like a picture, and maybe add the washi tape. I had already kind of blocked this calendar in. Wednesday is the first day of September, so these 2 days will be an open block. And then the last day of September is a Thursday, so these 3 days will be an open block, which means I might want to put a bit of washi on both sides again before I draw it in. Now I've used this one and I've used this one, so maybe I'll use this one, because then I'm going to draw a couple dahlias here. Actually, I'm thinking of drawing like 6 dahlias here for my step. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get this part blocked in, because if you've seen previous bullet journal videos, I'll link the playlist up above. There have been times I've tried to do a block of calendar like this where I have gone and I've wanted to do something with these empty blocks, and then I've forgotten about the empty blocks and drawn the days in, and it's always a fucking situation. Hopefully that won't happen this time. Not because I'm anti getting mad at myself, but because I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling very good right now about how this bullet journal setup is going thus far. I'm feeling very positive about it, and I would really prefer to not get pissed at myself at the moment. So fingers crossed, right? No! Damn it. I was doing so well. It's okay. One fuck up is not going to, it's not going to poop on my parade, I don't think. I think we're good. I have 5 things I want to continue tracking on this calendar, which are Loki's meds, Loki's water, calling my family, making art, and going on a coffee date with somebody. I need to find some of my Zig clean color dot markers that kind of match this color palette. And I think these are them, I think. Or maybe this one. I'm just going to test them really quick. Okay. I know the brown one works because I just used that one on the to-do list. So definitely the brown. The peach, maybe? Yeah, that is a good one. I know these colors fairly well. Yep, these are all good. Now it's basically one of these 3. Do I want this guy? Maybe. Do I want this guy? Now it's too pale for what I want right now. Do I want the red? Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah, because I think that this pale, yellowy, what is this color? Butter, it's just a little too pale, I think, for what I want at the moment. That kind of covers up the fucked up section. I still have also, for my monthly things, I have 4 things, which are the creative date once a month, a new creator, going on an adventure, and teaching the kids a new skill. But what I'm going to do is just do 2 here and 2 here, because with the washi tape, there's not as much room. And I think the light color is also going to be the one that I utilize to cross off each day for my daily habit. And I'm going to continue, even though I wanted to do a year of healthy habits with a different habit each month, I'm continuing making dinner for my habit, because it's really important that I stay consistent at that. DoorDash is way too easy. No lie. Let me know in the comments if you feel that. And so then I just need to put September, and then I need to just write that my habit for the month is, what I'll just do here is write make dinner, and I am going to use the pink to just cross each day off. And so much like I did here, I'm just going to cross it off on each day that it gets done. So for my steps tracker, I decided to draw 5 dahlias with 6 sections each, so a center and 5 rings. So it's a total of 30 sections, and I'm just going to color each one in as I fill in my steps. I'm doing the same measurements as I did before, which is sub 5K, 5 to 10K, and then plus 10K plus. I'm not done with the month yet, but it's very much been a mid 5K to 10K kind of month. I've hovered somewhere between 6 and 8K every day, and I'm fine with that. But I want to keep an eye on it, right? I do want to get better and walk more. But my plans for walking this month, I'll talk about this more in my Power Sheets video, got kind of screwed by the fact that all of the smoke, first world problems, but the smoke from the West fires settled over Denver. And so Denver had really terrible air quality for quite a while. And between the altitude and the smoke in the air, going for long walks just was not the business. But I like how this looks. It's not, I feel like it might be a little lopsided because there's the calendar here and then all these flowers here, but I did the same thing this last month and it really doesn't bother me. So maybe I'm saying it bothers me now because I'm noticing it. I don't know. All right, it's later in the day. I had to go take care of family stuff for a while, but I want to get this done. So this is a clean my house spread. Now I did clean my house spread in the previous bullet journal. I will leave it linked up above. I was very, very proud of that spread. It didn't get much use because right after I made it, we found out we were moving and my focus shifted, and a lot of it had to do with like maintenance and things like that. Well, I'm not worried about the maintenance right now. I am, but what I'm really worried about at the moment is just getting on a regular cleaning schedule. Even if we get a house cleaner, which we are hoping to do because of how crappy I feel all the time, I would like to still put something into place to remind us to keep the house tidy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like tidy and somewhat clean so that the house cleaner can do the deep cleaning. I'm going to start drawing this in and then we'll talk more about it while I'm drawing this in because I'll explain kind of my thought process. But my original thought was that I was going to draw like my general like rounded rectangles, but now that I have this like picture frame situation going on, I think I'm going to do that. One of the things I decided to do was draw in some like fake washi tape, because I've been using washi in this, but rather than put washi in, I'm just drawing it so that I can write in it. Like, I haven't decided if I'm going to write the date or if I'm going to like the day of the week or if I'm going to write the region. I might write the region, but easily you do this. This is super easy to like draw. I'm just drawing like some straight lines using the dots to guide me, and then just some jaggedy lines to create like the torn look of the washi tape. This is actually a doodle that is in my doodle book, my doodle ultimate doodle book for planners, journals, and more. It's a sequel to my lettering book, and if you're interested in super easy doodles like this, the link is in the description. One thing you might notice as I'm doing this, I am not being very careful with how I outline, which I'm totally fine with. I'm actually totally down with the sloppy look. You would never have guessed that, would you? So what I decided to do was divide the house up into areas. Upstairs, main, lower, basement, bathrooms, so all bathrooms, and other. Now this doesn't have people assigned to it, but there are certain things that will be assigned. Like I will be mostly the one tidying up my basement because it's my basement. And the kids will handle their own bathroom. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have them rotate between one of them doing their bathroom, one of them doing the downstairs bathroom, then they can flip because one will be grosser than the other, and then Jess and I will do our bathroom. But the way I want to do this is that each day of the week, we handle one thing. So in upstairs, we'll vacuum, dust, tidy, check the windows and the baseboards, and do the stairs, and then our own spaces, right? Then main floor, which is kitchen, front room, and dining room, vacuum, mop, tidy, dust, baseboards, and windowsills. Lower level is the living room, the laundry room, the guest room, and then Jesse's office, but that's on him. Vacuum, clean up the mud area, trash, stairs, and tidy. And then the basement, vacuum, stairs, put everything away, and wipe down desks. That's something I always want to do on Fridays, because Fridays are kind of like now I still do some work on Sundays, but I try to work like half a day on Friday, and so leaving it clean would be nice. And then bathrooms, like I said, how we would divide those up, but clean the shower, the toilet, the sinks, you guys know how it goes. The mirrors, the towels, the trash and supplies, and mop. And then other things, laundry, backyard, front yard, those kinds of things will be as needed. This is not meant to be like a tracking page. This is more like a reference page. But what I want to do with the kids is potentially use this to create a chore schedule. Kat really wants something where they can get like gold stars. So I'm happy to oblige. I'm not going to do a challenges spread this month because I didn't touch it in August. Did I touch it in August? I don't think I did. Pretty sure I didn't. Nope, didn't. It's not that I'm like anti-doing challenges. I actually really like them. I just have had other things on my mind. And so I'm not going to worry about it this month. I feel like I should put some washi tape on this. There we go. Now it matches. Let's double check that and go through the whole situation. So we have, are you going to bark all day, little doggy? Are you going to bite? And then I really love this. I stepped away from this for a few hours to go take care of family shit, and coming back to it, I fucking love it. My to-do list, my monthly spread with my steps tracker, and then this calendar tracking all these various things. And then this clean this house spread. So it's only 3 spreads for the month. And you know what? I'm fucking fine with that. I don't feel like doing more than I feel like doing. That was a really roundabout thing to say. How do you take care of your house? I've asked this before, but I'm gonna continue to ask it because I can't ever seem to fucking figure this shit out. How do you take care of your house or your apartment or your room or your space? Are you somebody who actually likes to clean or is good at it? I swear to God, this is gonna be like the never-ending trial of my life. You know, I might have kidney disease, I might need to get a transplant, I might parent teenagers, but it's cleaning. Cleaning is the hard part. Let me know in the comments below. Give me some tips, yo. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace.